Hello everyone.
Hello
We
everyone.
hope that you're doing well. We just wanted to jump on the channel with a quick vid.
A quick little vid today. Basically, a couple of weeks ago, we were hanging out with some friends and we started relaying this story of this incident, let's say, that happened between Soph and I when we went away with our staff team last year, where essentially we had like a bit of an argument and it was quite public.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far, yeah. Yeah, we had a fist fight in the middle of a staff retreat.
No, but it got us talking and thinking a lot about dealing with like conflicts in your friendships, or where one of you's upset or you have a bit of a disagreement. And we thought we'd talk to you about it today.
Bring it onto the channel.
Bring it onto the channel.
Yeah, so story time.
Let's go.
Here we go.
Set
the scene. It's a sunny day in July.
We're on a staff retreat. At this point, we work on the same staff team.
Yeah, so we've gone away with work for, you know, team bonding, team building.
Lots of fun.
Time together.
Fun in the sun.
Yeah, and it was really fun. It was a really great time. And like I said, team building, all of that. So obviously, games. The game we're playing is fishbowl. There's loads of people call it different things. Fishbowl.
It's where you have loads of names in a bowl of different things. You pick them out.
Yeah, there's different rounds. One's
different
acting,
rounds.
one's like describe it in one word. I think we were on the same team, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So we're on the same team.
It was a little bit tense as the game progressed.
There were other people on this team who shan't be named, and the dynamics, the team dynamics just weren't quite there.
They weren't quite there. I have to say, at
we
this
weren't
point,
bonding as a team.
I'm quite competitive, can get quite into a game. So could a few other members of the team. The point is, the vibes weren't A1.
No, they weren't, and we've been there all day. At this point in the story, I don't think you'd really done anything.
Yeah.
But I had probably, over the course of being on this trip, probably not been speaking to you in the kindest way. Or not
well, I can't it would, obviously I can't really remember it now, so it wasn't like specifically harsh things. It's more just the tone of like, we're all tired, we're in a massive group of people, and then obviously within that, Soph and I are super close. So if you're gonna let your tiredness come out in any way, it's going to be with like a close friend where it's just like a slightly snappy comment or whatever. I
hadn't been like, oh,
but I don't think
I
don't think you had noticed that, but I was just feeling it. And like I was probably tired and more sensitive to it anyway.
So anyway, at this point, I'm probably just being a little bit short with Rach, and we're in this team and it's a bit competitive and the vibes aren't fair, blah blah blah.
From this point, I then remember, so I start looking for my phone. And I couldn't find it, and I was trying to go to bed, so I was really tired. Also, I hadn't been sleeping well on this trip. I was so tired, and I was like, I want to go to bed. Where's my phone? Anyway, it had just gone. Like there was nowhere on the floor, nowhere. And you know when it's just getting annoying, like I'm ringing it, it's on silent, it's nowhere to be found. So I
could see. Basically, I think from my perspective,
you were on the other side of the room.
I could see that you were getting quite distressed about not being able to find this phone.
Yeah.
And I was like, in my head thinking, well, it's in this room somewhere. So it's not like lost. So I, in my kind of not really thinking, trying to be helpful way, I think said something like, well, why don't you just look for it tomorrow?
Yeah, or like you said something like, you don't need it. Or you could just get it tomorrow. And in that moment, like obviously, from your side, that's coming from like, just leave it. But I interpreted it almost as a dig of like you're
really that obsessed with your phone.
Like just go to bed. Like you're not gonna go on it. Like just find it tomorrow. Like why are you so obsessed with finding your phone? That is how I took it. And I was literally and I can't remember what I said, but I turned around. I think I said something like, "That's not a helpful comment, is it?" Like really, that's not a helpful comment, is it?
Yeah.
In front of everyone.
It was like,
ooh. And everyone was like, "Oh!" And and you know when you're like actually annoyed, so you're not even laughing. Like I was like, I literally am not finding this funny at all. That everyone's being like, "Ooh!" And
I was just like a bit shook because like we really don't speak to each other like that. In terms of like, I know some people have this friendship where I don't know, maybe they'll be a bit like savage to it, but like that's really not our vibe. So I was just like, oh no.
and like also,
you don't want to make a big deal out of it because everyone's there.
Yeah. And it's also one of those moments where like as soon as I said it, I was like, oh, like that just came across so like just aggy, but like I am aggy. And then anyway, eventually found my phone and it had gone into the sofa down and was like hanging like under the sofa. So I left, but like also there were people in that room that were enjoying winding me up. So I went to my room and I was just sat there like let's be honest, like I have just spoken to her like that in front of loads of people. That's quite embarrassing on your part, on my part, and just like
it almost felt like, you know, when you see like a couple having an argument,
and everyone's just a bit embarrassed. Like everyone's like, it's just embarrassing, and I hate stuff like that. Like I hate embarrassing other people as well. Like it's just all a bit intense. So I went to my room and I remember like I was in it with Martha and I was like, oh, I probably feel like I probably should just like chat, or like it just felt odd to have ended the evening on that. Like I was like, I probably need to apologise. Like I have just spoken like that in front of everyone. So yeah, then I sent you a text and I said, yo, where are you? Do you want to come out for a sec? I feel on edge. What? Soph was like, yeah, can do. Okay, playing hard to get. Where are you? And I was like, oh, you don't need to. The vibes are flowing, can chat in the morning. And then she was like, nah, it's pretty chill, where are you? And then, yeah, I remember then you came out. This is on a farm. The retreat's like on a farm. And we just sat, and we just sat like in pitch black. And I remember a few people like coming out and stuff, and it was like you know when you look at two people and it's just so bait, they're having like a intense conversation.
If I remember correctly, it started off like you apologised for snapping at me, and I was like,
yeah, I guess I'll have to forgive you.
I'll think about it. But I was like, oh yeah, you know, obviously you really appreciate that. And then kind of you then went into like
the reason why I felt like
the wider context.
Yeah. So basically it was a build up that then led to me like being more offended by that comment than I would have been usually.
Yes.
But yeah, I essentially just said that, and then I remember you being like, oh, I haven't realised that I've been being like that at all. And that's where it's just so interesting in these kind of conversations, because I do remember you being totally like, what? Whereas like for me it had felt so obvious that like you had just been a bit like short or whatever, or not like, it's not even like the extreme of like, oh, she's being really mean. It's just like, you know, when someone's not really being their usual, like, how they would
coming across annoyed, or
yeah. So in my head,
I genuinely wasn't annoyed at anything.
Yeah, I was expecting Soph to turn around and be like, yeah, no, do you know what, like, yeah, blah blah blah, but she was like, oh, what? So I think that is an example of why those kind of conversations are so important, because it's like one of you could have such a, like, you've come to a conclusion in your head like she's annoyed, and the other one's like, I'm not annoyed at all. Yeah. And sometimes and then like the flip side of it is like it was helpful for you to hear that, because you can then be like, oh, actually unknowingly I've been speaking slightly differently, or have I been, okay, do I need to like just be careful of that?
But I think I was very much like, I want to take full responsibility.
Yeah, you were like, oh, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, because my perception of how I've been is going to be different to yours. So if you're telling me I feel like you've been short, then I can't really say no, I haven't. If, even if it's not that I've been doing it intentionally, that's how I've been coming across to you. So I need to take responsibility for making you feel like that.
Yeah, and I think we then just chatted it out, apologised, and then went to bed. But like the difference of going to bed on that compared to how I personally felt when I went into my room and was sitting there going to Martha, like I just snapped in front of everyone, and it's actually because of this. And like, you know, I don't know, like I'm sure you guys have had it before where like, you know, something's happened like that and you just don't feel at ease at all. You're like, I need to have a conversation, or something needs to happen here, like I feel kind of anxious about it or whatever. And I think even as I'm like, we're telling this story now and I'm reflecting, obviously in the grand scheme of arguments,
it's like minor.
It's not like, you know, you this, you that, like or something really bad, like like what it was me snapping at Soph. Like But I think the reason we wanted to talk about it today is just because it can be so easy, even with like small things like that, just to brush them under the carpet, or to get really annoyed with a friend or like your close friends and like think that you've like moved on, but actually you're still harbouring a bit of like upset or like resentment to them for a way that they've like spoken to you or treated you. And unless you just have it out, like it just builds up.
Especially like in this example of like, I wasn't even really aware that I was necessarily speaking to you in that way. So if you just let that go on, or like if Rach didn't pull me up on that, you know, I could have just carried on for the next however long, just speaking to her in a way that was unkind or didn't make her feel valued. And she's, I don't know what that could happen. Could have come out of that. Like, you could have been like, actually, I don't think Soph's a very good friend, and I'm gonna
she keeps talking to me like
pull
this.
back and I don't really want to hang out with her anymore. But I wouldn't have even really known why.
I think often, like, it's very easy, even just like within our culture, to like let having a conversation like build up into a really big thing. Like, I think sometimes and like sometimes that's right in terms of if it's quite a serious conversation, then of course it's right to think about it, to think about the timing of it, all of that. But like, I think so often in so many friendships, people get upset or annoyed with each other, and maybe occasionally it is like, just let it go, like, you know, they're tired or whatever, like obviously not constantly like, you know, having issues to talk about, but at the same time, I really don't think it's that big a deal to bring things to your friends and like just chat them through. It doesn't have to be super intense, it doesn't have to be like, you know, tense. It can actually just be like, oh, do you know what, the other day when, you know, you said this or this happened, it actually made me feel like this, like, you know, part of that could be on me, like taking responsibility in it as well, but just like communicating more how you feel.
And I think there is something on as well, if you're the person receiving it, not automatically taking offence of like, they're accusing me of this and I didn't even do that, and it's like I said earlier, I have to take responsibility for the way that I make another person feel or make you feel, regardless of whether I intended.
You can't argue with how someone feels.
It's really not that deep to just say, oh, I'm really sorry, like that was maybe it was your intention, and then you can have a discussion about like something else that's happened that's made you react in that way, or you're just like, that wasn't my intention, and I'm gonna try not to do it again. And I think we've had conversations before about like, oh, sometimes you're kind of trying to wait for that right moment to bring it up and like a natural point in conversation, when in reality I'd say 90% of the time it is just a bit awkward in terms of initiating the conversation. You just have to go, hey, can we just talk about this? And it is kind of almost like we've joked before of like, it's like the hey mate, or like a
hey mate, can I just grab you for a chat, or can we have a quick chat? And it's like, oh,
and like, you know what's coming,
chat's involving.
You know what's coming, but I think we need to kind of, and I'm like learning to do this as well, because I'm not very good at this. Like, I'm fine in conflict or in these situations, but I find bringing them up and initiating them really difficult. But I'm trying to be more okay with the fact that, to be honest, at the start it might just be a bit awkward, but it's better to have the conversation than to not. And also, I do know people who've had bad experiences where maybe they've like gone to be vulnerable and maybe
it's been shut down,
challenged someone or something, and it's not been received well. That can be really difficult. But like, our jobs is to be honest, and obviously communicate that with kindness and love, and in a way that's not accusing, but it's not. If you're doing that, then you can't control how that person's going to react, and if they react badly, then at least you've done it in a way that you know, like, I wasn't trying to start beef. Getting more into the habit and making it more normal for those conversations to be a part of friendships and a part of
it's healthy.
Relationships.
It's in no way unhealthy to air your feelings. It's only healthy, and yes, like Soph said, it is sometimes determined on how someone reacts, but it is true that's not on you. And actually, like, as people mature and learn, you would hope that they would like move towards a healthy response of hearing you and understanding you. I guess in some ways this is quite a niche video where it's about something quite specific, but we just thought, you know what, if there's a couple of people watching today and you are sat there sitting on something that you feel really upset about, you know, that a close friend has said to you or done, we would just encourage you.
Or even someone at work, sorry.
Yeah, or someone at work,
so you work with someone that's in your life.
Just something like a situation that is just on your mind, you can't get rid of it. We would just encourage you, have a chat about it.
Yeah, have a chat, and hopefully it will be received well.
But yeah, anyway, hope that was encouraging.
I don't know. Hopefully you took something away from it.
Some food for thought.
Yeah, and if not, it was just a story for you to listen to.